One is what is happening in the Sotomayor hearings. It got a little personal today, and Lindsey Graham was leading the charge. He's from South Carolina. He's a Republican, of course. What we're going to do is we're going to show you how he went after Sotomayor today. But hold on, because afterwards we're going to show you what he said about Justice Alito, and we'll see if those two things match up or not. I wonder which way this is going to go. All right, here he is with Sotomayor. Clip number 1.
When you look at the almanac of the federal judiciary, lawyers anonymously rate judges in terms of temperament. And here's what they said about you. She's a terror on the bench. She's temperamental, excitable, she seems angry. She's overly aggressive, not very judicial. She does not have a very good temperament. She abuses lawyers. She really lacks judicial temperament. She behaves in an out of control manner. She makes inappropriate outbursts. She is nasty to lawyers. She will attack lawyers for making an argument she does not like. She can be a bit of a bully. When you look at the evaluation of the judges on the Second Circuit, you stand out like a sore thumb in terms of your temperament. What is your answer to these criticisms?
I do know that in the Second Circuit, because we only give litigants 10 minutes of oral argument each, that the processes in the Second Circuit are different than in most other circuits across the country. And that some lawyers do find that our court, which is not just me, but our court generally is described as a hot bench. It's a term of art lawyers use. It means that they're peppered with questions. Lots of lawyers who are unfamiliar with the process in the Second Circuit find that tough bench difficult and challenging.
If I may interject, Judge, they find you difficult and challenging more than your colleagues. And the only reason I mention this is it stands out. When you know, there are many positive things about you, and these hearings are designed to talk about the good and the bad. And I never liked appearing before a judge that I thought was a bully. It's hard enough being a lawyer, having your client there to begin with, without the judge just beating you up for no good reason. Do you think you have a temperament problem?
No, sir. I can only talk about what I know about my relationship with the judges of my court and with the lawyers who appear regularly from our circuit. And I believe that my reputation is such that I ask the hard questions, but I do it evenly for both sides.
In fairness to you, there are plenty of statements in the record in support of you as a person that do not go down this line. But I would just suggest to you, for what it's worth, Judge, as you go forward here, that these statements about you are striking. They're not about your colleagues. You know, the 10-minute rule applies to everybody. And that, you know, obviously you've accomplished a lot in your life, but maybe these hearings are time for self-reflection. This is pretty tough stuff that you don't see from about other judges on the Second Circuit.
Oh, well, thank you for the lecture, Senator Graham. I appreciate it. I'll go home and do some self-reflection and think, hey, am I a good enough person for Senator Graham to vote for me? Wow, okay. Now, she has a temperament problem? Do you remember who Lindsey Graham was supporting for President of the United States in 2008? A guy by the name of John McCain, who has a legendary temperament problem, who flies off the handle, once manhandled another senator while they were on a diplomatic trip, nearly tried to strangle him. And when those issues were brought up, hey, does he have the right temperament to be president? Lindsey Graham was outraged. How could you suggest that John McCain, who was yelled at, cursed at, and nearly fought so many different Republican senators, let alone Democratic senators, would have a temperament problem? How dare you? Now, I love how in the middle of that he says, now to be fair to you, I picked a couple of anonymous sources out of a whole book full of people who really like you. But I thought I'd do it anyway. By the way, you know who else has a temperament problem? A guy by the name of, I don't know, Justice Scalia. I don't remember the Republicans saying, hey, Antonin Scalia, you got a bit of a temperament issue. Or, oh, but that's because, he's a hot-headed Italian. That's all right. But a hot-headed Latino, it's a little dicey. One's lovable. The other one, it's an issue in America. All right. Now, the other thing that he pointed out that was not on tape was, he said, look, you support the Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund. And once the Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund made an argument about abortion and how it is akin to slavery if you don't give poor women the funding for abortion because then you effectively take it away. Aha! So, you must agree with what the Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund did in that case. And Sotomayor was like, I have no idea what they did in that case. I wasn't involved in it. I didn't read those briefs, and I have nothing to do with that case. He's like, well, you see, that's an issue that we got you on. That's interesting. Now, should we look into the personal lives of the justices when they come up for confirmation, and should we look to judge them based on one case, let alone a case that she had nothing to do with? Well, let's go back to Lindsey Graham, who I think had something to say about this during the Alito hearings back in 2006. Let's go to clip number 3.
Or we're going to take one case and one issue, and if we don't get the answer we like that represents our political view on that issue, are we going to bring the judiciary to their knees? Or are we going to say as a body, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how many cases you've decided, how many things you've done in your life as a lawyer, forget about it. It all comes down to this one issue. If we do, if we go down that road, there will be no going back. And good men and women will be deterred from coming before this body to serve their nation as a judge at the highest levels.
Apparently, Lindsey Graham does not mind bringing the judiciary to their knees now by bringing up single issues and attacking good men and women based on one thing. Now, that was when he was referring to Alito on a case he actually decided. This is about a case she had nothing to do with. The hypocrisy screams from the video, from the hearings. When it's a Republican, back away, don't you dare talk about their personal life. Don't you talk about their cases. Oh, it's 1 or 2 cases. Let it go already. Come on. When it's Sotomayor, I got an anonymous source here that says she doesn't really like you that much. What do you say about that, huh? And I got a case you had nothing to do with, but that's associated with a group that you might have been involved with at some point. Huh?